everybody, it's Doug Green, and I'm the publisher of Technology Reseller News. And I'm very pleased to have with me today John Tonthat, CRO of Cellhub. John, thank you for joining me today.
Doug, thanks for having me. I'm excited for this conversation.
Well, this is really interesting because we're talking about a new topic today, PC as a service. We haven't done a lot of podcasts on that. And the headline, as everyone can read, is Cellhub and Lifetime EPR launch first to market PC as a service with Lenovo ThinkPads and 24/7 support, some other great
Yeah,
features. We're going to dive into that announcement in a second. But John, first of all, what is Cellhub?
it's a great question. Cellhub is essentially three things, Doug, but at our core is we're a consulting primary agent, which means that we represent the T-Mobile brand in all of its facets exclusively. So we advocate for T-Mobile, we bring solutions out to market with T-Mobile. Um, and in the process of doing so, there are times when we operate as a network consulting firm and a systems integrator. But ultimately, it's all in the advancement of architecting T-Mobile solutions.
Now, tell us a little bit about this announcement. You have T-Mobile and Lifetime endpoint resources.
Yes. So as a primary agent, one of our roles is to go recruit MSPs and solution providers that we believe can bring a technology out to market. And so we've been collaborating with T-Mobile to bring PC as a service out to market. And through a deep collaboration with a fellow by the name of Mark Caponegro, who I've known for a long time, I felt that Lifetime had the service capability to deliver the kind of quality that T-Mobile was looking for in this trial program out to the market. So Lifetime EPR is a ITAD ITAM company that we selected to partner with to bring PC as a service out to market.
And specifically, these are Lenovo ThinkPads. Is that right?
That's correct. Lenovo ThinkPad laptops, for a couple of reasons. Our friends at Lenovo has the single largest number of laptops that are certified on the T-Mobile network, and it's a pleasure to work with them.
Now, how does the fixed cost of this program make both MSPs and their end users more resilient against economic market changes?
Yeah, I think that's a two-part answer. The first part is the solution is priced at $99 on the fixed basis. That includes both the laptop, all of the support services. It includes the connectivity for the solution, and it's a defined term for 3 years. If you think about lately the challenges of both tariffs and the instability of of the hardware itself, this is a fixed, defined cost to the end user, so that there won't be any flexibility in it, and that creates stability for SMBs who are trying to budget their IT spend. And so, from that point of view, T-Mobile has undertaken a fair amount of the risk and provide a very stable price out to the community.
Now, what are you getting for that $99 fixed cost?
Yeah, so you're getting a Lenovo 5G connected laptop. You're getting Office 365. You're getting help desk support. You're getting coverage in case there's any issues, hardware related failure with the laptop. You get uh, immediate response in terms of replacement of the device, and you get that in its entirety for a 3 year lifespan.
And it sounds like this is if you're an MSP, this is a very attractive for a specific kind of end user. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, to your point, at the heart of T-Mobile, let's talk about the heart of T-Mobile. T-Mobile really enables computing or data in motion, which is to say, if you're on the move, hence a cell phone works when you're on the move. Take that same concept and move it to a laptop, right? So a laptop now allows you to move. The challenge historically has been the connectivity with that laptop. You have to jump from Wi-Fi to Wi-Fi. And
Hmm.
what Apple wants to do is to unlock that, unleash you from having to go find that nearest Wi-Fi provider. And then the second thing that T-Mobile has unleashed is to solve for the security problems with connecting to multiple Wi-Fis. We've all heard of stories about the challenges with the security challenges with Wi-Fi being spoofed. All of that goes away when you have 5G connectivity to the laptop through T-Mobile's network, and it's secure. And so, from that perspective, think of it as unleashing or enabling mobility computing, both from a cell phone as well as a laptop point of view.
And let's stay with this because I'm starting to realize there's certain types of personas, as some companies call them, that this is really good for. It sounds like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm picturing a person, they've got their laptop and they have maybe time in the office, but now they're going from site to site, to your point. They're trying to find Wi-Fi, or maybe they're trying to hang it off their phone. So a lot of fooling around at each site just to even do that.
That's right. So the ideal end customer profile would be someone who is on the move, right? So that's why we sort of refer to it as data in motion or computing in motion. So first and foremost, think of visiting nurses from a healthcare point of view. Think of attorneys. Attorneys are constantly running between their office and the courthouse. Think of HVAC folks who are constantly on the move, going in and out of their trucks into your homes. Um, those are the types of folks who typically are smaller in nature from a company size, typically doesn't have an IT department, right? But want all of the services and the security and the patching that goes with that device. Effectively, T-Mobile now delivers all of that in a very easily consumable way. So I hope that helps calibrates the ideal customer profile.
Yeah, and in fact, earlier we were talking about even the persona of, and I know we have a lot of MSPs like this, where you have an attorney, and that attorney is sort of living out of their laptop, and
That's
they
right.
they are talking to a client at their office, and they might be doing work at home, and then they have to
Yeah.
run over to the courthouse and argue a case. Same laptop, and maybe they can get on the courthouse's Wi-Fi, maybe not. You're saying they don't have to worry about that anymore. They're just always on the network.
That's right. So they're on the T-Mobile 5G network. I do want to touch upon a comment that you made earlier regarding using your phone as a hotspot.
Hmm.
While it's technically feasible, if you've done it recently, you will also see that your phone heats up, number one.
Yes.
Number two, the amount of time, the battery life of your phone shrinks dramatically because phones were never really meant to do that long term. That's not a sustainable feature. That's for a short term, you're in an emergency scenario, you need to do it for 5 or 10 minutes. It's not for real computing the way that a laptop or a computing device calls for. So absolutely that we want to take advantage of a purpose-built device connected to T-Mobile's 5G network by design, and so the battery life is attributed to the laptop. The connectivity is attributed to the laptop, and it gives the end user just a purpose-built motion versus hacking to solving a problem, and you really then don't get the best of anything. You sort of solve you solve the problem for what is, but it's really not best of breed.
And while we're still talking about the technology, I'll throw in one other thing that's a real power issue, And I'm thinking there's a lot of mobility here, which is AI.
Mm,
You're using your phone as a hotspot, and you're using some sort of AI program on your laptop. You
yeah,
won't have very much power if you're not near power very long. You're going
that's
to
right.
drain both
And
real quick.
right, for those of us who are users of Copilot, and I use a fair amount of Microsoft Copilot, Copilot works candidly today a lot better when it's connected to the internet. I know there's discussions about having a small scale AI onto the chipset of the PC, but that's still a few years away. For the next foreseeable future, if you want to get access to Copilot while you're working, uh, that's that functionality requires connectivity, and that becomes very important.
Now, why is this? Why is a PC as a service especially ideal for the SMB sector, especially for the MSPs to be selling this?
Yeah, historically, one of the reasons why PC as a service hasn't really taken off has been really a twofold problem. The first issue is you have to do the conversion of buying the equipment and either on your own balance sheet, converting it over to a monthly payment. Yes, you can use certain leasing instruments to do that, but depending on certain instances, that is somewhere between art and science. Because the real question comes down to this, and that is who owns the equipment and what happens when the end customer wants to cancel, right? It's managing that risk that has become a real challenge for many MSPs. So what T-Mobile has done is T-Mobile has absorbed that risk. So essentially, T-Mobile has converted CapEx to OpEx onto their paper. They've included the connectivity, and the end user pays a monthly price. The MSP then sells a solution and doesn't have to solve for the intricacies of that financial conversion. So that's one end. That's at the lower end of the market. The upper end of the market is there are companies who are highly allergic to the way leases are constructed for a couple of reasons,
Mhm.
mostly around tax accounting rules, right? And so when you can't use a lease and then you have to construct it as a managed services contract, that just takes capital. And capital right now is at a fairly cost of money is not cheap. And so, you take that and you combine that into other issues of converting capex to opex. That's why T-Mobile candidly stepped in, and they wanted to solve that problem for MSPs that serve the SMB space.
The one thing I would have a question about if I'm an MSP is you're serving a mobile market. People are running around with those laptops.
Yeah.
What's the support like? Is there a help desk or anything?
Yes, absolutely. Help desk is part of the solution offering, both in terms of the hardware itself, and if mostly what we're solving for is the hardware and the access to Microsoft 365. More than that, that's still left in the hands of the local MSP to provide incremental services and support. But if you think of where most laptops fail, candidly, it's being dropped or tossed, right? Either by omission or admission.
Right.
So what happens in that scenario is you need that physical device replaced quickly. And that's really the heartbeat of the solution.
And I'm thinking that again, with the type of markets you're trying to serve here, these are probably markets that have seasonality. So maybe you don't need as many laptops in service year round. There might be surges. There might be downtimes where you have very few people in the field. And then to your point, these are brutal environments. You're constantly taking it out of a case and putting it down on a counter, and gets dropped on the floor, spilled on. Um, maybe you really don't want to own that gear.
I think the service life of any computing device is largely defined by the environment that it's in, right? It's tough for us to comment around every environment, but to your point, uh, most, so we'll call it SMB mid-market companies, have a variety of different mobility needs and mobility at the intersection of computing, which is this is where this solution solves. Um, and to the comment around seasonality, T-Mobile is happy to support you in whatever manner that's appropriate. Remember that these do come with a 3-year term, right? So the beauty of this is at the end of 3 years, you get a brand new refresh device. It'll be whatever the latest 5G connected laptop will be in 3 years. And so product refresh is built into the solution.
So you're getting a new laptop in 36 months at least.
Correct.
And
Not at least, with certainty.
and that means also you're getting the advantages. I mean, we are living in a period of time, like you said, we've got a lot of price uncertainty with tariffs.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we have a fast moving story in chip technology in the laptop with regard to AI and programs that we can't even imagine now that might exist 36 months from now.
Yeah, that's right. And just to put a fine point on it, I think with technology being refreshed as often as it is today, the thing that most of us, at least for me, I don't have a cell phone that's older than 3 years, right?
Right.
Reality is most of us don't, because we candidly beat on our mobile device affairs. So no different here. No different here. And so the idea is just that, to have the ability to have the best technology available to you in a timely manner that enables your business. That's really at the heart of the program.
Well, John, I really want to thank you for joining me today. This has been great. Thank you for the introduction to the program and getting us more familiar with it. Where can we learn more?
Right. I think there's two things. You can please reach out to me on LinkedIn, right? Or you can go to lifetimeepr.com, PC as a service, to find out the specifics of the program. I'm happy to make the connection and happy to talk about all things related to mobility and what T-Mobile's solving for today.
Well, John, it's been great getting a better understanding of this program. I'd like to learn more about it in maybe 4 or 5 months, see how it's going, learn about all the updates and so on.
That'll be great. Thank you for having me on today, Doug. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you very much indeed.